Hello there. My name is David Sudar, and today I wanted to share what I think of as the origin story of the path of sincerity. And so, back in 2012, I was just beginning what was to become this multi year spiritual journey, and I started by living at a Zen center in New Mexico. And after I'd been at the Zen center a couple of months, the head monk invited me to have breakfast with him. Of course, I accepted. And so, as we're sitting down to have breakfast, he looks at me in this, very solemn Zen way and says, "David, I'll make you a deal. You can ask me any question you like, but then I get to ask you any question I like." And of course, being a question man, I was very excited about this and I agreed. And I proceeded to ask him this elaborate, multifaceted question about, I don't even remember what. I just remember him looking at me with this expression on his face, kind of like, "Oh, that's a really good question." And then he thought about it and, he took 10 minutes to answer all the nuances of my question. And then he paused, settled into himself, looked at me and said, "Okay, now it's my question. David, how are you?" Initially I was just like, "Oh, I'm doing pretty good." And then I waited for him to say something more, and he just kept looking at me. And then it suddenly clicked. I was like, "Oh, this is his question." And then I proceeded to take 10 minutes to just drop in for what was real to me and answer his question. And that little moment where he asked me just how I was a bit of a shift in my whole journey. Because I find for me personally and for a lot of us, it's so easy to get caught up in these different practices and transformations and ideas of where I want to go and what I want to do. But what he was pointing me at was just like, slow down, just come into where you are. And I find over and over, this is just kind of the timeless practice. We can always get caught up in something else, but it's just right here. Come into the heart, come into the body, come into where you are. In a way, I don't see this just as the origin story of the path of sincerity for me, but for everyone. It's just, well, what's real for you? And I'd actually kind of like to bounce that question back to you. As you hear this story and you hear these words, maybe just take a moment to check in. How are you? Thank you.